Afternoon, YouTube. It is Wednesday afternoon, April 6th, 2022, and here we are again. You already know the deal. We're dealing with the same exact things that we're dealing with yesterday. We are dealing with severe weather, very widespread severe weather that's expected to go on all throughout the rest of the evening and into the night, maybe even into tomorrow morning for some areas. But let's talk about what we have at hand here first, and we're just going to take a brief look at the radar. We have an active tornado warning in southern Georgia. These are for the counties of Crisp, Dooley, and Wilcox counties in Georgia. This is an observed tornado, and this is moving at 20 miles per hour. This is radar confirmed. And the locations include Cordell, Rochelle, Arabi, I might be pronouncing that wrong, Arabi, Pitts, East Crisp, Richwood, Pope City, Seville, Hatley, Pleasant View, Tippetville, Double Run, Tremont, Winoa, and Owensboro. And this is in effect until 4:45. We also have a multitude of severe thunderstorm warnings. And we have a severe thunderstorm watch that covers central Alabama all the way into south central Alabama and then extends right towards the Georgia-Alabama border. And then we have a tornado watch which covers south central Georgia and extends into an area where you can see all these red triangles. These are from yesterday. These are tornado reports from an area that was very hard hit yesterday in South Carolina. So, pretty messy situation unfolding once again. And we do have special weather statements for these outlined in the blue here for storms here to the north. Eastern Kentucky is in play for this. Some of you guys are under a slight risk. Up towards Louisville, y'all are in a marginal risk. And then just east of Nashville here, we have you guys under a slight risk, and even some of you guys have an enhanced risk the further east you go, especially towards the Appalachians. So there's a lot going on here. Let's get into it real quick. Haven't even loaded up all of my maps. I got home a little bit ago, but I'm trying to see what's going on because my area, I live in Atlanta, just so you guys know. I still live in Atlanta, so the storms have so far remained to the south, but we are expecting severe weather here as well. There is a potential tornado threat, but we'll get into that momentarily. So I'm just gonna make this real quick. A little earlier today, I actually posted a active weather report at the time that I was leaving work. It's about 2:38. It's about a 45-minute drive plus, depending on traffic, which was pretty rough. So there was that. And when I got home, I had to get something to eat. Well, on the way home, I had to get something to eat. So almost set here. We're gonna take a brief look at the temperatures here, and then we're gonna look at the radar. I'm also going to keep an eye on any additional tornado warnings, especially since some of these will be in my state. I'll try to call them out a little bit more attentively. So we're looking at the 18Z run of the HRRR. The new model run is just now starting, so I'm just working with what I got here. So, geez, it kicked me out of the southeastern view. Just bear with me a second. I'm trying to get this started because maybe if the storms pop up in a spot where I can see them, I may be able to get more content for you guys. Just to give you an idea of how intense these storms could be at times, or mainly just the lightning ahead. Once it gets real bad, I'm probably not going to do too much. But you can clearly see where our warm sector is, highlighted by pretty much this red line here. We're in the 70s and 80s at this point, and then anywhere to the west of that, we're getting into the 60s and even the upper 50s now. So there's our clash of air masses right here, and anywhere in this warm sector here, you get these isolated storms. They have a chance to spin. The most area that's rich in parameters for tornadoes is definitely going to be the same area that we saw get hit yesterday. They might be getting hit again. Low-level jet is screaming through this area. It's leading to a lot of big problems. So, I'm going to move this forward. And we still have our warm sector starting to develop. Starting to work its way to the north. But over towards the south, a lot of energy is going to be used up from these storms that we have right now that are based off the convection. So, I think with this group of storms here, there isn't going to be any real daytime heating to destabilize the atmosphere once again. So I think the line of storms to the south might not be as bad. You can tell the difference whenever this line of storms starts clearing the area, because look at how the temperatures drop dramatically. So by a Thursday morning, unless you're to the south here or on the coast, you aren't gonna have a super warm day. It's gonna be a lot cooler. It's gonna be some winds leftover winds at the low levels that we're gonna have to be dealing with here. Could make for a chilly day. So make sure you're ready to deal with that properly. Make sure you're bundled up. But we move forward back here real quick. This is a threat that does seem to be going into the overnight hour, so please, as I've said 1,000 times on this channel, stay weather aware, have a way to get warnings and other info into the overnight, because you don't want to be caught off guard by this stuff. These storms are not playing around. They've been dropping tornadoes, some of which have been violent today, even in southern Georgia in particular. This was an area that I was kind of worried about yesterday, and it's definitely living up to the hype, up to the prediction. And that, unfortunately, I'm worried that more people may be affected by this negatively. So, enough of my rambling here. We're gonna take a quick look. We're gonna go about 24 hours on this model. Well, really about probably 15. And then we'll probably call this video. So you can clearly see that there's plenty of convection still around the southern regions. Around the north, we might get spared in the earlier part of the evening. I was definitely concerned about this yesterday, about the chance of some isolated supercells popping up here, because this is also an environment that would be suitable for tornado genesis. But if we don't get any sort of storms developing over it, then it's not really going to matter. If we look at this storm here, this actually has no severe. This actually doesn't have any hazard type of severe at the moment. Do see a slight curvature on the hordeograph, but it's nothing significant enough to be concerned about. Geez, here we go with that again. So we'll watch this go into the night. This like a lot of the models that I've been seeing earlier today have had a line of storms forming up, and there it is right there. A little bit of a gap in it. It kind of leaves Atlanta out of it. So hopefully this outcome holds true. Wait, hang on a minute. I don't like that look. It's a marginal tornado threat. Looks like a couple of isolated supercells embedded along the area. So I think that model run, our luck might run out as far as that model run is concerned. So into the overnight, everyone needs to be watchful around the northern half of town. Right now, the attention is really going to be towards the southern half of town, and then earlier into the evening, definitely central and eastern South Carolina into North Carolina. You guys need to be careful, because it looks like those isolated cells that are in southern Georgia are going to be heading your way. How long we will have those isolated cells before the main the main part of the storm comes in, time will only tell. That's definitely a nowcasting situation, so definitely stay tuned to either your local weather provider or another YouTuber that's doing a live stream or the Weather Channel. Just have some way to get info throughout the day, because you don't want to get caught off guard by these storms, because these will pack a punch. If you end up under one of these, it could be a rough time for you. My main thing is to not be scared, be prepared, and be weather aware. But I say anywhere south of Macon, Georgia, or south of Talladega, Alabama, you guys still have a good ways to go when it comes to the weather tonight. Oops. How did that happen? Oh wow, screen's gone bonkers here. But this is pretty much all I have for you guys. We will talk about. I want to talk about Thursday, but there's just so much going on with this right now. Depending on what happens, I might try to make a quick video about it tomorrow, depending on the mode of the storms. I'll look into it further. I may even do one tonight if things aren't too bad. But I'll see you guys again soon. This has been Ty, Metalhead Weatherman. You guys stay safe out here.